Hi, my name is David Klappenberger. I'm a franchisor with Klappenberger and Son, but I'm not here to push my franchise. What I like to do is give you some free information on how to find and detect and strategize to find the right franchise for you that'll bring you a good return on your investment. And there's three ways I feel that there is to look at a return on investment. With stocks and bonds, it's real simple. With a bond, you invest $100,000. Once they mature, maybe it's worth $106,000, and your return on investment is 6%, $6,000. With a franchise, it's a lot more nuanced and complicated than that because most franchises require you to quit your job and do this full time. So, what's your return on investment when you have to quit your job? You have to factor that in. So you have to actually say, what is my time worth? And if you're currently making $100,000 a year and somebody else is making $200,000 a year, and both people quit their job, buy the franchise, their return on investment is going to be different because what they feel that their labor, the market feels that their labor is worth. So when you're doing a return on investment, you need to factor in what your time is worth, what the investment costs, and when do you start determining your return on investment with the franchise? On year 3 is what most experts say to do, because you want to find the first year is not going to be a great year. Most franchises, they don't make any money or they make a little bit of money. I'm not going to get into what our franchise does because I'm not trying to push it, but it's pretty good. If in the second year things are starting to get better, and the third year you're starting to have some customers who are calling you back, or whatever service you're in, you're getting some loyalty, you're getting the word, you're established, you know what you're doing, and you're making more money now than you were before. You need to find out what the average is of what other franchises are doing, not what the top peak performers are doing, because that might not be something that's obtainable, but what is the average? That's a fair number. You're going to want to look at the location of the business to determine what your return on investment is. If you're buying a restaurant and there's not a lot of people there, or there's a really good Italian place and you're buying an Italian restaurant, well, you might not be able to have the same results as somebody who is in a downtown area. So return on investment, take a look at what you're making now, what the average franchisee is making in 3 years, and you want to be getting 15 to 30% better than what you're making now. And when I say 15 to 30%, what I really mean to say is you want to be able to pay off and recoup 15 to 30% of what your initial investment was. Okay? So if the franchise costs $100,000, you were making $100,000 a year, you need to be bringing in $115,000 to $130,000 to recoup the initial investment. Fair enough? Another thing to factor in is most people who are looking for a franchise don't like something significantly about their current employment. They might not like their boss, or the unflexible hours, or the demands, or the mundane work, whatever it is that is pushing them to say, you know what, I'd like to start my own business. And how do you measure a return on investment on those things? How do you measure the fact that you'll be happier, that you'll be able to coach your kid's soccer team, or go play golf with your friends, or take weekends off and not have whatever it is that's bugging you, not bugging you anymore? There might be some different things, but those things which are really pushing you to leave your current job, what is that worth? I think it's worth a lot. We only go through this once, and I don't want our life is pretty short. It goes quick, and who the hell wants to spend decades in a miserable job? So there's value in that. The final return on investment is when you finally get to sell the company. Now, a lot of franchisees, they don't think about selling the company until they're burnt out, until they just want to get out. And that's not a good time to sell. You want to sell the company you want to pick a time to sell it. And that is when you've had a few really good years in a row. 3 years that are growth, growth, growth. And then you have something hot. You have something that's ready to sell. Sell it. Talk about a return on your investment. If your income at that point in time is $200,000, and the rule of thumb is that you can sell a business for about 2.5 to 3 times what your owner's compensation is. If it's $200,000, you can sell this thing for what, $450,000, $500,000 with an investment that you paid a lot less than that. If you'd like more information about franchising with Klappenberger and Son, oh, one other thing. Hold on, this is a good one. Don't just compare different industries. You're going to want to compare franchises against other franchises in the same industry, because the ongoing fees, the expenses that go to one franchisor can be vastly different than another franchisor. Here's my little plug. I evaluated 6 different painting companies and 4 different handyman companies and compared them to mine. I have a painting and handyman franchise, and some of the franchises, if everybody grossed $1 million across the board, some people in some of these franchises are going to pay $60,000 more than they would if they would have bought my franchise, because our fees are lower than the others. Regardless of what franchise you're going in, check the ongoing fees, the royalties, the brand development, the technical fees, the software fees. They add up vastly different, really have a huge impact on your return on investment. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give us a like. And if you're interested in contacting us, just go to franchise.Klappenberger and Son and get more information. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.